The way I think about sourcing in general is, up until about 60, 75 years ago, 75-ish years ago, people weren't flying things from all over the world, right? It was like, there's a body of water that's massive, 100 miles away from New York. I'm gonna figure out a way to get out there. I'm gonna throw my line in the water. I'm gonna catch the fish, and I'm gonna go home and eat it. And that's sort of the philosophy that we have. It's like, people say sustainable, people say hyper-local. I say like common sense, right? Like, why am I going to fly something from around the globe when I've got an abundance of really, really delicious fish right here? And I'm like a real advocate for the underdog. I love tuna, and we serve tuna at the restaurant when it's in season. I love salmon. We don't serve salmon because no salmon swim on the East Coast. And, it's just something that I thought I wanted to be able to introduce to New York. I wanted to introduce the other species of fish that are equally as delicious and definitely more abundant to the market in New York City. And it was a little risky, but I felt from the momentum I had from the meatball shop, I'd be able to get people to believe and trust in me, that I'm doing the right thing, and we did. And we've never had anybody walk out because they weren't interested in a species of fish on the board. Everybody's eager to try new things today, which is so unique and amazing. So we're super grateful for it, because we definitely took a big risk not putting salmon and tuna and halibut and cod and the fish that everybody thinks of when they think of fish on the board. Technology has made a massive presence over the last half a decade, 5 years, in the food world. It's almost, it's inevitable that everybody is going to be using technology, if not everybody has already. It's rare that unless there's a diner that's been there for 35 years, are people writing dupes and sticking them on the board for the chef. Everything goes through a system. Inventory systems are all digitized now. Very few people are taking names at the door and then like calling people on the phone. There's systems that cover that problem. You just push a button and text somebody. They can respond back whether they're coming or not. I mean, there's just so many ways that the technology world has infiltrated the food space, because everybody sort of knows that people got to eat, and restaurants aren't going anywhere, and it's a safe bet for a tech company to sort of invest their time and energy into an essential need for human survival, and most people like to indulge in food, and beverage, and so technology has really made a stance in every way, in any process that you can think of in the restaurant world. There is a piece of technology that will make it more efficient and help it survive. Now, the one thing I think is pushing the bar a little too far. The experience that one has when they walk into a restaurant from human engagement is monumental for me in my experiences in other places, and my offering to guests. And so I would never ever consider replacing a human for a tablet. It's just not. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are deeply considering it because it's so expensive to work with humans. But I think in the restaurant world, without a smile and a thank you and a welcome, it's not the same. We've seen a real resurgence in delivery and takeout, right? I think for years people started taking out and delivering less and less and less, because the millennial demographic, which is I'm at the tail end of the millennial demographic, like, we're tangible. We want to touch things. We want the best for free as fast as possible. And so that's where like this sort of fast casual like flew off the hinges, because people want the best for as little money as fast as possible. And so with technology making it so seamlessly easy to order food at home, we've seen a big uptick in delivery and takeout. I don't think people are going to start cooking more at home. I don't think that people are going to, like, these things where like you can get food sent to you you know, all the ingredients portioned out and then you put it together and cook it. Like, I don't think that's gonna take off. I think people want things faster. Not everybody wants to cook. Very few people actually do want to cook. They might say they want to cook, but they actually don't. So I think the future of food and technology is sort of unknown. I've experimented with refrigerators that tell you exactly what the temperature of the food is. Incredible. That's amazing. It would be amazing to be able to understand the exact temperature of the food at all times in your refrigerator, and if something is souring, it notifies you that it's souring. It's like incredible. Smart kitchens, smart surfaces where it tells you exactly how long to cook, you know, exactly how long to cook a piece of steak to medium rare, like boom. Like, you know, I've seen these things, it's amazing. I guess I call myself a little old school, where, like, you know, somebody told me once, you know, the only way to learn is to fail fast and fail often. And so I live by that. I'm like, if I'm not failing, I'm not giving it as much as I can. So I fail fast and fail often. And I try to keep those failures like under wraps and learn from them. And I take big swings when I'm confident, you know, but no. It's not, I don't get to do it as much as I used to, but like my number one all-time pastime outside of fitness is eating out. I love to eat out. I love the experience of a restaurant, of a great restaurant. And so over the years, you know, wherever I travel, whatever I do, you know, my wife and I, now we have kids, like, we travel to eat. And like, even if there's an incredible place on the map that I want to go see, I rarely, if the food like traditionally or typically like sucks there, I actually don't go. Because I'm like all about, like, I want culture, I want to dig into culture, and culture is about food, music, what you wear, your language, how you communicate, how you dance, how you sing. It all ties together, but I think food brings everyone together, and I love experiencing food in other places. So if I eat in an amazing restaurant, if I go to an amazing village and I eat with a family, one of the greatest meals I've ever had in my life was in a little town in Sicily called Catania. And in Catania, this family invited me into their house and they cooked this incredible meal. And that's inspired me for a decade. That meal, how the smell, the sound, everything. So I kind of go back there and yeah.